What's up, Robert West? I'll be right there, man. I see you. Sin, what's up, RD? What's up, guys? And you must think I always wear these same shorts, right? These are just for around my house, man. You know? Yeah. I'm a little late coming on. I was watching that Blue Beetle and I got caught up in it. I actually ate all my food and everything. I said, all right, I'm going to go live 9:30. You know, started watching that Blue Beetle. Yeah, I was getting caught up in it. It's kind of cool. I'll wait for you guys to get in there. Yeah. What do we got? Let's see. Ask me a question. That's Sin. You sense the fall coming, huh? Yeah. Leaves are starting to drop off the trees. Yeah, you got a little thing, a little emoji of a leaf and everything. Let me fix myself up here. With this weird collar. The fucking thing looks like it's from the 70s, right? I actually just threw a shirt on. I was sitting here in my t-shirt. Actually, I had no shirt. I just threw this on. Yeah, that's good, right? I look presentable. See, because I keep my room warm. I have frogs in here. So I have to keep it like 80 degrees, 79 degrees. And yeah, I got a hole in my head. Did you hear about Toaster? No, what happened to Toaster? I know I heard of him. He's the guy he crossed me out on that gate on 58th Street, First Avenue, you know, by accident. I did a whole episode about that. But what, something happened to the poor guy? Hope he's all right. All right. Sup, RD? I don't know. You see, last time people were getting in touch with me on here, like that Fade guy. I don't know if you saw my episode. If not, go back to it. My last live. And, you know, like they comment on here and I shout them out. I am assuming that's the whole purpose. Having a comment thing. Yeah, so apparently he's like, I'm blowing his spot up or something. What the fuck are you saying? You know, what are you getting on here for? But I mean, I'm going to shout people out on here. I mean, that if you do not want to be shouted out, do not comment. If you know me and you're on here and you say hello to me and I see, I say, hey, there he is. What's up? I used to write with this guy or something like that. So if you don't want that to happen to you, don't comment. All right, now where are we? Cool Flow. Did you hear about Toaster? No, I don't. He's up around here a lot, but Mr. RD from Dan S. Whereas I wish I lived in New York. Much respect to the city. I don't know, man. The city's kind of fucked up, man. But it is what it is. It's not for the faint-hearted. New York City is extremely expensive, especially on the Upper East Side where I live. Forget about it. A gallon of milk is like $8, almost $7-8. If I run right into a place right up the block from my house or something, if I go to Gastides, I could get it for like $5 something. Even there, it's expensive. You know, no, it's insane. Yeah, very expensive. And for what? Like, if you really like, you know, I was getting into it a lot before, but the city really has nothing to offer. They used to say once upon a time, not a long time ago, probably up until the pandemic, that, you know, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And New York, and how it's the heartbeat of the world, the crosswalks of the world, 42nd Street and Broadway. I don't think that is the truth anymore. Nothing that's being done here can't be done anywhere else or from home. The only thing I think that this place would have an edge up on would be Broadway, the theater district. I don't give a fuck about that stuff personally, but yeah, that's the one thing. Everything else, like say you want to become a rap star or something, you don't got to get involved with all these people in New York, or now you just do it online by yourself. Same with Hollywood. I mean, Hollywood's Hollywood. It's over there. New York would be considered the second Hollywood. But even like all that shit is done. Yeah, it's done, man. Trader Joe's. Yeah, there's a Trader Joe's right here under the bridge. At least I think it is. Definitely one on 86th Street. I think there's one down in my job too. I stop in there sometimes when I want to pick up my meat and stuff like that, you know. I know. I'm living on disability in Canada. Shit couldn't be further from reality. Hoping to visit soon. Yeah, I guess Canada's got it worse from what I see on the news. But I'll tell you, I'm sitting here watching all this shit about San Francisco and California and people shooting up and, shooting up drugs, injecting drugs into their arms and broad daylight in public in front of everyone. And yeah, people taking a shit. And it looks like a zombie land. I'm like, oh my God, I'd actually be scared to go to San Francisco or California from what I'm seeing on my videos, from what I see on YouTube and shit. And I now have people getting in touch with me saying the same shit. Like if you ever see Chicago, it's like I feel like I get shot and killed or something if I step foot in the streets of Chicago from what I'm being exposed to. Now I'm starting to realize people are starting to say that shit about New York City. And I actually move about in New York City without any really noticing of anything. Like I said, even with this whole migrant crisis and my last thing, I said, yeah, I mean, over near the Roosevelt Hotel, you have a lot of e-bikes and electric bikes, fucking regular bikes. I mean, a lot of migrants are coming and doing like Uber or Eats, Grubhub, stuff like that. And they're making their money. Who's to argue with that? I can't say anything bad about that. I mean, yes, of course, it's a burden on the city. It's financial, but I'm sorry. If I was in fucking outside America and I wanted to get in here, I'd do the same shit. So I cannot judge. I can't judge. And most of the people I meet are very nice, friendly people. No problem with no one. But yeah, eventually it's a burden on taxpayers and even city agencies. I work for a city agency. They're saying, they got to cut back 5% or something like that, each agency and stuff. So, yeah, of course it's going to be felt. But I don't know. Like, I don't look at it like in a view like I'm hearing. It's almost like a lot of tension towards the migrants, but I don't blame them. They're going for a grab, man. That's what I would do. The same fucking thing if I was in a country and I felt like I could live a better life in another country or something like that. I'd be running across that fucking border my damn self. So I can't judge on that. And like I said, I have not lived a crystal clear, perfect life. Like, don't cast stones in a glass house or whatever. Or he who has no sin may cast the first stone. You get me? So I always really do keep that shit in my mind. Like, who am I to judge? That's why I believe I get through life pretty happy. People always say I'm always happy and smiling and stuff, because I don't judge nothing like that. I've done some grimy shit in my life. And people are people. And people can change. And I don't think that those guys are to blame. They're just looking for a better life. I believe the fucking, once again, like I said, me coming and being the son of my father, I don't talk bad about a sitting president. But yeah, you could definitely look at those areas more. So I can honestly say that I believe these people are being used as a political pawn. It's obvious. I mean, it's as clear as day. I mean, you see what happened with AOC down there near the Roosevelt Hotel. She was down there. I don't know. I couldn't even hear what she was saying. Also, I could hear the other people. It was close the border, this, that, blah. You couldn't even hear what she was saying. Honestly, it's really getting tight like that. And that's just right there. I wasn't there. What I did notice, if you look at that footage, they start talking about the bikes. Like I talked about even before that whole thing with AOC. I was like, yeah, it's just a bunch of bikes locked up out there, electric bikes, scooters and stuff. I was saying that before this whole thing with AOC even happened. You can look at my videos and you can look at her video. But anyway, the funny thing is, she's over there, and then they zoom in on the bikes that are parked up, like the electric bikes and the scooters and electric mopeds and all types of shit. Now, like some of these things go 150 miles an hour. As they're saying that, a truck goes by. If you look at the truck where you pull open the door, There's an RD tag on that shit. Yeah, it's like this big. It's over the mean streak. I'm like, there it is. Yes, that made me happy. I can't complain, man. They're getting me media play, right? Yeah. Now, what happened to my forehead here, huh? I'll tell you. I can actually show you. All right. I was going to come on here and joke and be like, oh, Coke 2 beat me up. I bumped into Coke 2 and he beat me up. But no, in reality, this is what happened. I'll show you right now. Right. You see in my kitchen here, right here on the floor, and you see it, well, there's the paint. I got to go this way more. See that corner? That's where my dog sleeps, right here. Now, you see this bicycle? See this horn right here? See, that fucking thing caught me right there. Boom. That's right. Boom. Right into the fucking thing. Right there. I was giving my dog a treat. You know, she was sleeping and she was snoring. It was cute. So I was trying to, I grabbed a little treat. I got a bunch of treats right here for her on top of the fridge. I was giving her a little treat. Bang. I bashed my fucking head right into the handlebars. That's actually a nice bite. You look at that shit. But you know about that. You can't really see it, but that's a Cannondale Capo. Yeah. Nice shit back in the days. Well, not that far back, but yeah, that was one of the capos. Like the fixie Cannondale, like a track bike Cannondale. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what happened to my head there. All right. Let me see. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to scroll all the way to the beginning now. All right, Robert West, yo, what up, RD? Sin Stat, Fruit, yo, RD, Cold Flu, RD. Sin, I sense the fall is coming, yeah. Definitely getting cold in these parts here. Okay. All right, did you hear about Toaster? I said no. Mr. RD from Dan S. Fruits. I wish I lived in New York. We went through that. New York is expensive from Dan S. Good Flu 1. Fell off a rooftop, fractured his spine. Ooh, who's that? Toaster? Fell off a rooftop, fractured his spine. Fractured his spine. Paralyzed? Quadriplegic? Yeah, I know a person that got stabbed and never walked again. Yeah, still alive, and that shit happened in 84, 85. He's still alive. But yeah, man, that's bad shit. My baby's mother was attacked. Jamaica to West Indies. That's when my son was born. She too broke her spine, but broke her spine. That's pretty much the cause of her death. Fell off a rooftop. Yeah. That's like, well, RE, I was talking about in my past video. He fell in one of the metal gratings, fell right down about 10 feet, 7, 8 feet maybe, straight down, boom. Fucked his back up. It's like some real shit that we're doing surgeries. And he got addicted to pain medicine before you know it. He kind of relied on pain medicine, like opiates. Got addicted to opiates. Wow, that's sad. Yeah, I hope he's all right and all. Yeah. All right, Wally. Hey, man, I recently went to New York and saw a ton of RD tags, man. Felt surreal, dude. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I took a week or two off from work, and I relapsed. I went off, but that's how I roll. Like, just imagine that like a couple of months straight. I'd have Manhattan Island on smash. Like, I'm funny like that. Like, it's like breathing to me at this point. I mean, 42 years? Tell me another writer. You tell me one other writer has been out there illegally as long as I have. They don't exist. Not on the face of this earth. I say that with a straight face. Comment. Tell me one other writer on the face of this earth. We've been down this shit, man. I've been down this road. That's the reason I started this YouTube, by bragging. Some people said eternity, this, that. But no, he was only active for 30 years. And he started in like the 30s or 40s or something like that. Some people said Disco Duck. Nope, I beat him too. As a matter of fact, that song Disco Duck didn't even come out until like 76, 77. And by the time he stopped and passed away and all that, I beat him. Tex Tex, Bozo Tex, the guy that does that weird shit on the freight trains, he kind of is neck and neck beat almost. The whole thing with him is they mailed me a tape, a CD, Texino. He takes like a mean streak almost, or like a black China pen, a marker or something, and he draws like a Mexican leaning on a thing with the hat and the nose and stuff. He draws them things on Bozo Texino or something like that. And he draws them things on freight trains. He's been doing this shit for a long fucking time. But I don't believe it was one person. I believe the idea, the same exact hat and everything was done by one guy, and another guy picked up the same exact idea. It's almost like Sash and Sash. You had the Sash that I know was out there, right? And then you had the Sash that like Nash and Roaches, TFV and them hung out with, a different Sash. But my Sash was out since like 81, 82, shit, way back. Gary Pinedo, rest in peace. And this other Sash actually started up right when the Sash I know quit. Like the Sash I knew quit, started doing bodybuilding and stuff like that with this guy Bind 156. And he pretty much quit and wrapped it up. And that's around the time when the other Sash picked up. But I actually bumped into the other Sash. The Sash I know is Mexican and Irish. The Sash that picked up after Sash 357 was Sash BBK? BKB? I forget. One of them, Sash I knew and the Sash that. Anyway, one's 357, one's not. That's probably the best way because they both got BKB things in their thing. I believe BBK because that's Nash in them. And he used to hang out with that Sash. Indian dude. But I actually bumped into him once when he was doing one of them Fun Factory walls. I said, wow, you're Sash. I used to see you. I started talking to him about tags that I did with the real Sash on the sixes. I'm like, oh, man, I didn't tell him who I was or anything. I was like, oh, wow, yeah, I see you up on the sixes with them. 357 with RD in them. He's like, yeah, you know, there's that, right? So he's doing a legal wall over there. This is like when Pat DeLillo was doing it. It was, what the fuck did they call now? 5 Points. This is when it was like the Fun Factory or some shit like that. A little while back. So I said, oh, let me see your can. I took his can of paint because he was doing a legal wall. I did an RD tag on the sidewalk. He was, I remember I had my little kid and shit on my shoulders and shit. I did an RD tag on the sidewalk. And he was like, he was speechless. He was like, I was like, yo, dude, come on, man. I just kept walking. But yeah, true story. I don't know where I was going with that shit, but somewhere. Oh yeah, the Texino, Ben's Texino guy. Yeah, so it's hard to distinguish between that stuff. To me, it all looks the same, you know. Monarchies on the freight trains, like the little characters drawn with mean streak. But I don't even think that original person's got me beat or the person that picked up. Maybe them both together in a career. But even then, I rocked that shit. You know? I've been out there like that. All right, so who's Wally? Yeah, hey man, I recently went to New York and I saw tons of tags. Yeah, from RD, yeah, I'd be rocking. All right, blogging for Godzilla 1. Been seeing new RD tags recently. You know, a couple of weeks old at this point. Yeah. All right, tags. But that's a funny thing too. You know, I dropped a video of tags that I do, you know, that style. Everyone's, oh, that's a new style. I don't like it. I like the old RD tag. To be truthful, I was actually doing that shit like way back. Like, I just couldn't do it on the subways because of room and space. So I actually, the RD tag that you guys know and love so much was actually created from the original, the ones that I put on just recently, just to cut down on time for speed. And there's no reason to do all that shit. The subways were destroyed. Like, you're going to sit there doing stars and all that curly shit for what? It's like fucking Wombat or some shit, you know? So, yeah, that tag has been around for a long time. I really, really started perfecting it, and I added the stars. See, originally lace would do that style because he used to bond with this guy Smiley, TED, the Ebony Dukes. And he kind of did that Smiley style, right? So then Lace did the same style. If you have a look at all the tags I did in the tunnels, I'll do it right now. Just give me a second. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, people. All right, people of the world. Hey, give me a second. Unfortunately, all I have. Right. Yeah, all I have is this. Wait, my battery's gonna die. Hang in there. You there, people? All right. Don't treat me so badly there. All right, there we go. Now, I haven't done a lace tag and. All right, so I got a pink marker. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Fucking thing is dead. There it goes. All right. Yeah, it's still dead. All right, here's a black one. All right. I don't know. Lace used to do it like that. But I always fuck his E up. He don't wave his E like that. But the L and the A, you see that style? Now mine was like this. Because it looked good next to his, right? Now you have this other guy on the 6 train that used to write Mac. And I kind of got the star idea from Mac, T-A-T. You know, Mac Bio and them, yeah. And he would do the star and then connect it and M A. I fucked it up a little bit. You get the idea, right? Yeah, so that tag's been around since like 86, 85. I've been doing it that way. Yeah. I just, of course, switched up to this because it's faster. You got me? Right. So yeah, 90% of you people are wrong. You don't like that new style I'm doing. Well, not 90%, but a lot of you guys were breaking on that shit. But it's honestly shows you how much you guys know. Because I did rock that style. People that know me know, oh yeah, he's been doing that shit forever. Yeah. And that's the one that's like I just explained it. All these fucking markers, man. Yeah, this marker's dead. It's not working. Give me a second. We'll do a little tag. Well, you go bed, puppy. Let me see if I can find a fat mark I can use. Fucking dead. A whole fucking big of markers here. Every one of them are dead. Here, this works. All right. I used to laugh at that shit with people that collect cans of spray paint. What the fuck? Like people have drawers and shelves full of spray paint. But I'm like, I come back a month, 2, 3 months later, they still got it, and I'm like, I don't know, like, you know, like, oh yeah, acts like that makes them some kind of big writer. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Real writers, they can't keep their supplies. That shit comes and goes so quick. My opinion. Now, give me a second. I'll show you. I see you had lace like this. All right, lace. Can you see it? All right. Then you got me like this. All right. In my tag. Then you have Mac, T-A-T. Yeah, you know what it is? I just realized this marker, it's good, but this cardboard, it's got my dog's like skin and shit on it, sleeping on it. I just picked it up from the floor. My dog's old and she's like shedding. All right, so what are we talking about now? Mac. Mac would go like that. And Lace got it from Smiley. Mac might have got it from Smiley too. Smiley hung out a lot of people, but Smiley had passed away a while ago, so I don't know. But yeah, it's a pretty similar. It's like a Bronx Manhattan thing. Tack, Peace God, Scheme. Yeah, it does the same type of shit. Yeah, you know, with the E, and even Note, PK Note does that kind of E sometimes. Yeah. All right, where were we? And seeing new RD tags. Oh, I know. I'm living in a disability in Canada. Yeah, Canada's pretty fucked up. Raider Joe's. Manuel Dillon. I saw a couple of DNRE tags today. Put a smile on my face. DNRE. I haven't even heard of that shit, man. Where you living? Fruitwise, I just love the scene kills you, LA style wine. I'm an opinion, New Yorker throw some group. All right, Kilrin, that's the guy. He knows his graffiti writers. This guy, Curlin. You should come to Melbourne. Was that in Australia? Yeah, I like a lot of the wildlife you guys got going on out there in Australia. You got the little white tree frogs. A lot of shit. Bearded dragons, everything running around out there, right? I don't like the bearded dragon, but yeah. Howdy, RD. Do you know any Seattle writers? No, only New York City and pretty much only Manhattan. Unless someone was really smashing hard and I saw them. Yeah, but other than that, no. With them stealing stuff. Unwally, hey RD, nice seeing you, man. I went to New York recently for the second time after living in MA. The graffiti scene is like no other out there, man. I saw a couple of RD tags and was giving you my telepathic respect, man. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, it gets pretty wild downtown. Canada's nice if you want safety. Yeah, but I heard like Canada's more woke than around here, right? What do you got, that Turtleberg guy? What's he doing, man? Trudeau or whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah, I hear nothing but bad shit coming out of there, man. You know, as far as it goes with like being able to raise a child, man. I don't know. What do I know? Like I said, they got all these videos about New York, and I watch them. I'm like, oh, I'm so scared, you know. So, and I don't see it in my own city, so. A lot of it's hype, media hype. But I mean, I feel it. I definitely feel it. There's nothing to do. There's like nothing. Like I fucking been buying rotten food. I go to get a salami sandwich or something like that, or a ham sandwich. Then the cheese, the Swiss cheese, it like crumbles apart and it's see through. It's like transparent. And once my fucking meat actually looked like it had a like black and blue bruise on it, like purple and shit like that. Yeah, it's bad, man. Like the food sucks. I buy a gallon of milk that's rotten at least 4 times a year, and I actually feel them and check the dates and everything, man. Every couple of months I get caught with a fucking rotten gallon of milk, man. It's bad. It just seems like the people don't care. It's like, just give me my money and shit, you know? Like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, I tried to return the milk once. The 7-Eleven's gone now. I'm like, oh, dude, this shit's rotten, man. He's like, how do I know you bought it? I'm like, what the fuck you mean? I just scanned it here. You know, I didn't take a receipt. I was just going in there. I live around the corner. Go in there and buy fucking, making coffee. And I bought it. I went back in. I was like, you can look at my card. I just used my fucking card here, my debit card. You know, like Citibank and shit. I'm like, the fuck? I just bought it. I'm like, really? It's like, how does he know? I'm like, the barcode. I mean, I scan things at my work with a barcode, specimens and stuff, and it tracks it. You scan that barcode like you just scanned it 10 minutes before when I actually bought the fucking thing, be the same exact barcode, same exact number. He got all mad at me. Like, the fuck, man? Like, I was like, what do you think? I'm like running around each store, like with like a little shot glass, stealing a shot glass of milk out of a fucking every gallon of milk or something. Like, that's kind of fucking crazy, you know? But yeah, people, they're quick to give you rotten shit, but they're not quick to give you money back. And then they throw a shit fit, act like you're trying to cause them some kind of problem or something, you know? So it's bad. And just all that is fine and dandy if everything is cheap. But, yo, it's like, yeah. Yeah, long gone the good old days, man. Believe that shit. I'd like to leave out of this city if I could, to be truthful. You know? You never run it. And plus, I hear a lot of people getting killed out there in Canada, too. Isn't there like some kind of gang war or something between like the mafia or something like that? And you got the motorcycle guys running around killing each other, too, right? What is that? The Rock Machine? Is that it? The Rock Machine? Right? You got a couple of motorcycle gangs out there that fucking shit up, right? You ever run into Bat? No, I never ran into Bat, and that's from why? All right. Jay, she has a great rack. Oh, she is. Canadian scene is a joke. That's from Fruit. Sin, you've been seeing Camel or Guard. I believe Guard is from LA. Ron. I got BTM in San Francisco. I think I might have seen a couple of like marker tags, like just a regular, like a Pentel, like a paint marker type tags on a few mailboxes. But I always thought that said Glare, Glare. Other than that, no, I haven't heard of the person. You know, it's like I see tags like one of these, like a silver on a mailbox or something. But I'm pretty sure it says Glare. I could be wrong. Cope is like half your height, LOL. It's about 6 feet. I'm like 6'4" or something. He comes up to maybe my collarbone or around here or something. Hey, PJ. Where I just saw something about PJ. Let me go down. Why do you want up, G? Wait, how the hell did I scroll so far? Blah, 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 blah. Cub one. RD, what? I'm starting right here. I don't know what the hell. I missed a bunch of them. You did a video of Toaster ragging you. All right, CX Rain Xfinity. Yes, that's what I was just saying. I did a video of the spot where he went over me. And then he went back over himself with my tag, with blue. He did an RD tag over himself. And I was just using that as a point. It was a good video. Probably one of the highest rating videos I had on here. You know, I wasn't getting at him or nothing. I don't give a fuck. You know, it was good content, you know. But I'm sorry to hear if he hurt himself like that, you know. If you're in touch with him, tell him, you know, I'm sorry, no hard feelings and shit. All right. What do I know about Gooch from Brooklyn? I don't know. I did know a Gooch. Might be the same guy. Maybe moved to Brooklyn. Ask him if you know him or you know of him. But yeah, I used to hang out. One of them guys, I think, around with T's, like BS guys from out there around Woodside. Like those guys, T's, Tabs, stuff like that. I don't know. I think I might have bumped into him with them. Or maybe with Skay or something like that. But I always thought he was a Queens guy. He's a white boy, young, skinny kid, combs his hair to the side, kind of dirty blondish. Well, now he's probably an old man, right? He's probably bald as shit. Fucking weighs 400 pounds. Hey, Camel is fire. Camel toe? RD, what do you know about Gooch from Brooklyn? We're on YouTube. Well, I'm starting to wonder if it's Gooch or Grouch. I don't know. Ask him. Ask him if he knows me. Ripe. I remember when I was hanging out with Ripe. Ripe 357, Ripe BS, Bomb Squad. I just hang out with a lot of those guys. Hung out with those guys a lot. Tech and them. I mean, they were in the neighborhood I was living in for a while. I don't know. Somehow I affiliate Gooch with that. I could be wrong. Well, just like Cade, TCS. I'm like, oh, that dude's been writing forever. I say, I don't know if I got beef with him or if I'm friends with him. I don't remember. I just remember seeing him up. I remember somehow him being involved or something like that. And he reached out to me. He's like, no, we never really had no problems. He's like, BS, Bomb Squad. I'm like, I knew it. Those guys, they know a lot of people. I know a lot of people, and we know each other. So that's the Bomb Squad out in Queens. Cub One, what up, RD? What's going on, All Star Cruise? I said said he ratted on Buffalo Cats and they got papers, I think. Who's that? Camel? I don't know. You're talking about like fucking, what are you talking about here? Buffalo, like upstate New York or some shit? I don't know. I'm like I say over and over again, Manhattan I know real well. Like I know all the incomings and goings of this place. It's where I've pretty much been hanging out my whole life. The Bronx I know a lot about too. Not as much as I would Manhattan. Queens I'm pretty good with up until you start getting past Woodside or something like that. And then I start falling off. Queens goes all the way out to almost Long Island. Brooklyn, I'm pretty much oblivious to. I could tell you who is from Brooklyn just from knowing who's from Brooklyn, just by the crews they push or something like that. But other than that, I'm really lost. I don't lie about my knowledge. I can't help you if I'm lying to you. And you can't help me if, it's like just trying to be honest. Maybe that's how we could come to some kind of good shit, Arthur Stace, Eternity from Sydney. Yeah, that's the guy. He used to write with chalk, Eternity. Yeah, I think he only wrote for 27 years. And it was with chalk on a sidewalk. That's just like not even illegal. Different medium, different era. He was doing that shit in like the 30s or something, right? I like Kilroy. Was here with a nose over the wall. Yes, now the original Kilroy would be during the war. They were writing them shits even as far back as World War II. They'd write them shits on the missiles that they were dropping down. Kilroy, I don't know, something about some military background or something like that. And then people started writing it, but that is not one individual human being. That's platoons of people, hundreds of people, thousands. I myself have even done that. At least 10 times in my life. I've done that with the nose. That Kilroy was here. Me, seriously. Me, Robert Brian Dyer. I have done that myself. Me too. Yeah. So you can't judge that Kilroy stuff. It wasn't one person. It actually became like a movement. Like Bird, the jazz musician. Or Clapton is God. It's actually written on his album cover, Eric Clapton. Clapton is God. I used to see that in the 70s. I'd go just about every single shopping center or mall. You go behind the shopping strip, you go behind where the dumpsters are, you'll see Clapton is God. All right. So why do you think a lot of writers pass relatively young? Lifestyle? Are you saying that the guy's dead? The toaster's dead, or is he just injured? I mean, I would assume that you wouldn't use that term. It would be more like he broke his spine or something like that. So I don't know, but yeah, a lot of people pass away. I don't know if it's necessarily graffiti writers. I mean, in my life, yes, but if you really stretch it out amongst all of the crews and writers, the graffiti writers don't necessarily die young. Drug addicts, people that abuse drugs, they die early. They overdose, especially with this fentanyl shit out there. Other than that, most graffiti writers, they have like 2 or 3 people they know in their life that they wrote graffiti with that had passed away. 3, 4, 5 people, maybe. I mean, me, it's literally like double digits, 20s, 30 something people, 40 something people, because I've been out so long. I've been out way back, and a lot of people pass away. Plus, we were living a rougher lifestyle. We were really out there like that. And quite a lot of people I also lost from drug abuse and street violence, gun violence, jealousy, rage over women. A lot of people I know got incarcerated. A lot of people got drunk and beat people up and killed them by accident or something like that. Yeah, so it just people die. I honestly wouldn't say that lots of graffiti writers die young. Because if you actually look at the older group of writers, they really didn't die young. I mean, Iz didn't really die young. If you look at Iz the Wiz in Style Wars, the fucking dude looked like he was already in his 20s or 30s or something. Well, everyone else is like 16, 17 years old. The dude's like a fucking man. He's got a beard and shit, mustache. He's literally like in his like late 20s or 30s or something. While like Min is like 16 years old or something like that. So he definitely wasn't 16 or 17 years old. I mean, you look at the same thing with Cap. I mean, Cap's still alive and all, but you look at him, he was older than most of the other writers, Just thinking about it, all the people that I know that lost across the board, graffiti writers or not, had died. And I'd say a large quantity. I lost a few people to COVID, but a large quantity of them was from drug abuse, like overdoses. Quite a few motorcycle accidents throughout my life, a lot of car accidents, a lot of suicides, definitely a lot of suicides. Yeah, I couldn't actually pinpoint it to graffiti writers themselves. Like if you look at it as a whole, there's a few people that might write graffiti that pass away, but it's just a much more higher rate of just people passing away. I mean, if you're expecting me to say they're dying young because they're inhaling spray paint or some shit like that, it's not going to happen. And no, stepping on the third rail, I myself have touched the third rail down under Grand Army Plaza. I got shocked real hard. Banged my head on the top of the train because I was under the train where the wheels are, crawling to get a can of spray paint. Train was off, obviously, but I still got a pretty bad shock, split my head open, probably needed stitches. In my lifetime, I think EL3, TNS, maybe 6 people, 5 people died from being electrocuted by train tracks. At most, if even. I could definitely name 3, 4, but it's not like hundreds of people are fucking getting killed. I mean, you're talking about thousands of people were writing graffiti at that point in the 80s. Maybe 10 of them got electrocuted or something? 9, 6. So yeah, I can't say it's because of that. That's from Jack VZ. I can't agree on that. Stepping on the third rail. They would probably be more likely to get hit by a train than electrocuted. Graffiti had mental health go hand in hand. I don't know. I did know some fucking crazy ass writers. Graffiti and mental health. I guess to a certain point, yeah. Like when you're in your 50s and you're writing graffiti since you were like fucking 12, 13 years old, there's something wrong with you. But if you're just hanging out with your friends and like scheme, I wouldn't say scheme is like mentally ill or anything like that. A lot of them people, if you really sit down and think about it, if someone wrote graffiti, say they started when they were 13, they stopped when they were 17 or 18, which was the absolute norm. That's what people did. By 18 years old, they gave it up, started going to clubs, dating girls, and having a different outlook on life. But when people start pushing past that and continue on into adulthood and beyond, then yeah, you would have to say they would be a little screwed up in the head. But I don't think it's any different than someone trying marijuana or trying alcohol or something like that at a young age, and then just drinking on a sociable occasion or something like that. It's not like anything other than that as far as it goes with mental illness or nothing. Kids do stupid shits. You never took a rock and threw it through the window of a fucking like an abandoned building or something, or blow out a street light with a BB gun or something like that. You write graffiti. All right, pathologist, yo, reported stolen. It's the evolution. Got to evolve. Yeah, evolve. Oh, Smiley is dope. Yeah, Smiley was good, man. God rest his soul, man. The Ebony Duke sounds like a Motown group. That's Fire Lace is dope. All right, that's from Fruitwax. Elon Yada. Yo, RD, what do you know about Gooch from Brooklyn? We did that already. I actually just heard of Mac about a year ago. He has an interview up on YouTube. Oh, that dude ain't take no shit. I didn't know about his YouTube. What, he's got a YouTube channel? Believe me, it was a tough dude, man. Mac will punch you in the face, man. Believe that. He was a salty character. I probably know more people that got beat up by Mac than got electrocuted by a fucking third rail. Just put it that way. Mac was fucking people up out there, bro. Straight up. A few people didn't even know that Tat's crew rode on subways. I'm like, how the fuck can you not know that? Like, T-Kid did a lot of pieces with those dudes, man, especially with Mac, Bio and them. Yeah, TAT, they were like kings of the sixes on the insides. Yeah, one point, they squeezed in. Yeah, they came off. Them dudes weren't fucking around. Mac catch you out there, beat your ass. Yeah. Spanish dude, kind of long hair and shit like that. Sober, I think I know also. So it is Gooch and Sober. Ask them if they know me. If they ever met me out in Queens with T's, BS in them. Like I met them a few times. Once you said Sober, yeah, it's those guys. Yeah. The bat is back. BACC. RD, what up, OG? Aaron Fireborn, not much chilling. Don S, the Olds. All right. Yo, you guys got some crazy fucking names, man. Why can't you be simple like Tim, Matt, Charles, Ray, John? You guys all this crazy, like, Tasmanian fucking weird shit, man. Gooch has a really great documentary on YouTube. What's the documentary called? I'll look at it and then I'll refer back if I know the guy. But I'm pretty sure I've met him a few times. I'm not sitting there saying like the guy's my fucking godson or nothing. I don't know what the big stink is. I mean, I don't think he's that good. I like his straight letters. I mean, to sit here talking about him for 15, 20 fucking minutes. What are you, Gooch? Do you know me? I mean, let's be real, bro. Dan S, the old BK writers are dope. Yeah, definitely. Mac had the pieces where he did the checkerboard background. I don't know if I ever saw that. I saw just about it. Like, Mac, and they were doing pieces, man. They did a lot of six. I actually saw him when he was doing a nail piece, Nail. It was Mac. I was doing the insides. I think there's a Mac, a T-Kid, or a Shame or something like that. I forget. But I actually looked. I was on the insides of the train. They had no idea. I saw the hand go over the window a little bit. So I just went my face up against the window and I looked down. I was inside the train. They were on the outside, and it's on the outstore layup. They were doing that shit right on the elevated tracks, like Zariga, Castle Hill, Middletown Road, stuff like that. They were right down the tracks. I just looked down. Oh, shit. So I just kept doing my tags. I opened the door real quiet, and I went into the next car, and I closed the door, and I started on that one. Yeah. Like, I didn't have no reason to say I didn't even want them to know I was there, But, yeah, and I always thought that Thule another TAT guy. I rumored, I guess would be the term, that he was like a worker in the ghost yard, so they would be able to catch the sixes up there. But I saw them doing that piece on this right there on the six on Zariga Castle Hill. I'm tired. I started late, man. Looks like Mayor's M. I don't know which mayor you're talking about. Mayor or Mears? Nah, that's totally different. Mayor would do a regular M, like a Maze M. Mac would do it like that. Different completely. Wall to wall, real Toronto DVD from mid 2000s is all I know about that. Wall to wall TV, real Toronto DVD from mid 2000s is all I know about that. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what that means. In Toronto, I don't fuck with it. So I know absolutely nothing. My friend Soul went up there a couple of times, hung out with some people up there. I used to get my spray paint from this place called Bombing Science, I think it was. I used to get some pretty cool deals when I was smashing them tunnels with the big pounds. Buy like $300-400 worth of that shit a week. It would literally cost $300-400 a tunnel, you know, when doing it with them big silvers with me and Lace. Thoughts on CH and the current meltdown? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Charlie Hustle? I'm unaware of a meltdown. If that's what you mean, I don't know. I don't fuck with those people like that. I got no bad will to them towards the guy or nothing. It looks like Dan S. Bronx Mayor 165 D/S. My mistake. 156 Mayor. Mayor 156. Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Never heard of Mayor 156. Rebo came through. Did some fills recently. Yeah, those guys are out there. O'Clock 156. I heard of a couple of O'Clocks. I don't know if they're involved with 156. There's an O'Clock out now. There's probably 156, like with Net KRT 156. You know, those are newer guys. That's yeah. I don't pay attention to that. Yeah, Bombing Science is the cheapest paint you can get in a country somewhere. How LOL. Yeah, well, you know, like they would have Father's Day and we'd get like a whole pallet of them fucking silvers. We'd kill them in like a month. You know, we'd go through that free shipping. And also, if you get over a certain amount of money, I was even telling those guys in Bombing Science that you start working out real deals and get some real shit going. I told them, man, even like it's a sponsorship, outright www.bombingscience.com, like every 10 fucking RD tags, man. like, yo, that shit, the cops will be coming knocking on their door in Canada. The way I get, see, like I said, how long did I go out from the 4th to the 14th or something? And now, like, the whole city's a buzz. Like, yo, I see you up over here, RD. I see you up over there. Shit's coming off with AOC talking about the migrants. The trucks are going by. RD. That's just 2 weeks. Like, I'm literally imagine like months or years, like straight at that shit. Like, honestly, yeah, I really don't get down like your average Joe, man. I take it there, man. Believe me. Yeah, I just I have a good sense of it, and I know what's going to last and what's not going to last. Hell, I should. It's been like, what, 42, 43 years of graffiti now? Yeah. You guys having a conversation about yourselves there. Let me move past that. Thoughts on Zine Culture, Skills Magazine, etc. Honestly, never thought of it. I don't fuck with it. Don't buy it. Don't get it. A lot of those guys get in touch with me, ask me if I could give them stickers they could put in their magazines, or if I could say a couple of words or something like that for them. I tell them just take whatever you want that you see of mine on the internet. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, that's about it. I don't think I've ever actually done a Zine. I did Liquid Text, but I don't think that's a Zine. That's like actually a magazine, like a flat book. I don't know what your term is. To me, a Zine is like almost like a fucking, like a menu. When you sit down in a restaurant, you open it up and it's like 3 or 4 pages or something that's small and it's printed up out of a Xerox machine. Pages might be a little glossy, staples, like a comic book or something like that. That's what I think of when I think of a Zine. Whether my description of this thing is right or wrong, I don't know. But that's what I consider a Zine. Like, I wouldn't consider like Mass Appeal a Zine. I'd consider that a magazine. Remember Mass Appeal that was out? I did that, and that's probably about it. Talk about spot selection. I don't know. I guess people could definitely say I'm a targeted writer. I target items and I write on them and I stick with it. Like meters, once upon a time, I had like all the meters on the Upper East Side. Fire hydrants, perfect example. The backs of trucks with a mean streak, perfect example. Tunnels, perfect example. Like the placement of tags. Yeah, if something works for me, I stick with it and I rock it. I rock it till the fucking cows come home. Wall to wall TV. Any close calls with restaurant owners when going King of the Throne? No. No. I remember Ramrod's, this gay bar downtown. Who was it? I think I was with Just or maybe RE. It might have been RE early on, or Just DWC. And the back door opened up, and these guys, they were dressed like motorcycle guys. They looked like Freddie Mercury or something. They had like leather motorcycle hats on, and they had Harley Davidsons and shit. They had chaps pants on, homosexuals. And man, they chased the fuck out of us. I tell you, I've never been that scared in my life. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck are they going to do to me? Like, for real, like, this is big too. They had like fucking handkerchiefs on. Pink Panthers, that's what it was. The fuck, Pink Panthers, that's what it was. That's what they were yelling out. That was during the time of Silence's death, the pink triangle. Yeah, that's what it was. I just remembered. This is when the AIDS epidemic was at its peak, I would say. A lot of people were discriminating against homosexuality, and these guys were kind of like the guardian angels. They were like gay guardian angels or something like that. And yeah, they chased the fuck out of me. I didn't, I was just catching a tag. Yeah, I forget who I was with, man, but we ran right past it because Just had a car and RE had a car. So we ran right past. We didn't even have time to like open up the door and like get in and put the keys in the car and to like, no, they were so close to us. They were literally like 10, 15 feet behind us for like 4 fucking blocks, 5 blocks. It's like they weren't tiring out. They were healthy looking dudes with fucking handlebar mustaches and shit. Yeah, I was scared, man. I was fearing that shit. That shit would have been like an episode of Oz or some shit. I was like, where did I wind up, man? I remember I ran through, right over, that shit was crazy, man. So now you see, Fruit Fries, you're saying I got an old Mass Appeal Zine about Bates. So is that a Zine or a magazine? I would consider a Mass Appeal a magazine. It's like a Playboy magazine or like Us or People magazine. It's the same context, no? Like, would you call a People magazine a Zine? Or would you call it a magazine? News Weekly magazine or News Weekly Zine. Like I am under the impression a Zine is something that's like this big or something like that. You can flick through it and you look at it. Some shit some idiot punched up on a fucking Xerox machine. I'm not big on them. I'm not. I think it's sloppy, cheesy shit. To be truthful, my personal opinion. But I do pop up in them quite often. All right, 12-ounce CrossFit was dope. I don't think I ever went on that one. I know people had showed me, but I couldn't look at it. Right? 12-ounce CrossFit, is that the one? Well, you have to, like, it's weird. Then you open up like a thread or some shit like that. Yeah, I couldn't get on that one. I went on Tag Mag early on. Well, D3 did this shit, and I just kind of looked at it, and I would go on eventually. I get drawn into it. Tag Mag, which was Mayhem or something. Then later on, you had the AOL chat room, and then after that, I don't know, you had like 10 different things. But my favorite was Streets of Saying Things. That was fun, man. We used to fuck with each other. Except I don't know, I was having fun, but obviously all those people got so mad at me. They started putting my work address on, my name, my address where I live. Like they were trying to kill me. I was just like, woo, woo, woo. Like I said, I don't worry about these dudes. Like they're like little kids and shit. Like fuck them. I'll beat their ass. I mean, that was my honest opinion. I really never sweated graffiti writers. Whether I was wrong about that thought or not, I really never worried about graffiti writers. I'd always looked at them like just little idiots, like jerks. You could slap them around or something, you know. Honestly, like I picked on all the graffiti writers and I bullied them. To be truthful with you, that's why people fuck with me now. Right, Sec 1, sit it off. True Legend RD. I reported stolen my bro. Just got into a fight with Guardian Angels in the Lower East Side. They're still around. Yeah, I heard that back around. Well, you know what it is? The migrants. That Sleewell guy. He's really kicking up a fuss about the migrants. He's going out to Staten Island, and he's creating these protests and stuff, and he don't like it, so he's against it. He is back out there. Yeah. Wasn't he running for like president or mayor or some shit like that a year or two ago? All right, Charles Black. I got a state your name issue. You know, I've never watched one of those things. I've seen bits and pieces. Like someone would show me, or it would come on like a live stream, like a certain section. But I never owned any of those, or never watched them, or nothing. The same with Carl Weston's, but he actually had a bunch of footage of mine, man. What was that, Videograph? I never actually watched any of those full. I actually have one in a cabinet over there. Had it there forever. Maybe I should mail that out to someone on my Patreon. Yeah, I never watched any of it. But he actually got arrested. They got raided when they actually had all my footage. Yeah, me and D3 were running around. We got shotguns and shit like that, all types of shit. I got an alligator in my house and living out in Staten Island. I had a kiddie pool in the living room, and I had a fucking alligator with a big fucking like a grow light over him, because you know he needs UVV and stuff like that. It's an alligator. Needs sunlight, warmth, and shit. So, but yeah, those are good times. I could throw a Cornish hen or like a chicken like this. Eat the whole fucking thing one bite. He was getting big, man. He was probably about 4.5, 5 feet by the time I got rid of him. All right, Fruit Flies, damn, that's fire. My boy filmed a video for Noxer last year. No clue when that will drop, but I grew up on State Your Name. Yeah, I've actually never watched them. What were we talking about? Something. Oh, yeah, I got a video coming out. I got this guy's been about a year and 2 months now. Yeah, he's been following me around, catching video footage. Most of the stuff I did that you guys were talking about, that you see the graffiti out there. Yeah, he pretty much videoed me quite a few times with that. I'll tell you another thing. When I was out there writing graffiti, I actually bumped into other writers. I bumped into that guy who writes Homesick. Yeah, I bumped into him. He actually caught me writing. Yeah, he caught me writing on 8th Street and like what would be considered 4th Avenue, like around the corner from Continental. Yeah, I was right on construction site. I didn't see no one around. All of a sudden, he was right behind me. He came out of a doorway or something. I looked at him. He looked at me. He's like, "Oh shit, you idea?" I'm like, "Why, you heard of me?" He's like, "Well, yeah." I was like, "You saw me up," something like that. He told me right homesick. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Then I bumped into him again, like the next weekend after that. He didn't catch me writing graffiti the second time, but yeah, he actually caught me. Like if he was a cop, he'd be like, I mean, I would get away. I'd run away. He wasn't close to me, but he laid eyes on me at that point. He was not in grabbing distance, nor was he capable of grabbing me. Um, he was about a parking space and a half away from me, maybe 12 feet away from me, 11 feet, something like that, away from me. That's how far away he was. Yeah, we talked for a little while, hung out. And then I bumped into him again, and him and his friend were videoing me. I had a video camera. I have it right there. I asked me, "Oh, you could video me?" And his friend's like, "Yeah, this blah blah. Is this thing Zoom?" I said, "I don't know, man. Just aiming at me, bro." They're good dudes, man. Anyone knows homesick and shit. Funny thing is, I'm thinking homesick. Like, where are you from? Like Alabama or some shit, man. But no, he's a New Yorker, man. But yeah, cool dude, man. I like him, man. Good guy. Uh, all right. Who else? Demon, DMS. Yeah, I did a video with him for Danny. He had a DMS hat on, and yeah, I was smashing the Bowery Wall. Guy came up on us. Demon, D, like the letter D, or like a face with teeth. He did one right before the Bowery Wall, like on that little strip behind the tree. Yeah, D and then MEN. Man, we hung out a little bit, did some tags together, and kept it moving. But that's weird. I was explaining on my last thing. It's been like 30 something years before I actually bumped into a graffiti writer in the street while I'm actually writing graffiti, and they're out on writing graffiti too. Yeah, it's been a long fucking like 20, 30 years. Yeah. It's been a long fucking time. Last time, like I said, it was with Omni when I was with Just DWC. And I was talking to Just. We got back in touch with each other. And maybe one day I'll have him on. Like I'll call him and you could hear him talking. He could tell you stuff maybe I don't remember or something. But yeah, he was, Omni was doing that saxophone player. I don't know who it was. I can't think. A black saxophone player. And it's a black and white. It's like a mural, and it's in a parking lot where people park their cars for money. He was painting that, and there was an Omni piece on the wall, and he was doing that. And I remember I talked to him for a couple of minutes, shook his hand, and left. And we went about our business. We kept writing graffiti. But yeah, he was there, but he was doing a big production, like he was doing. It was actually like Bird or something like that, like some dude with a saxophone, a heavy set black man with a saxophone. Very well. He's very talented, Omni. Omni knew his shit, man. His letters were a little goofy. It's hard to fuck with an O at the beginning of your tag. So he was kind of crippled with that, but you could tell Omni had skills, man. Omni was a good writer. I mean, believe me, he fucked us around a lot, but taking that out of the equation, I think he was a good writer. State your name part 2. Let me see what I got in here, man. Hold on. This guy's still talking about state your name. I think I got a bunch of those in here, man. I just don't open them or something, man. Hey, Bob, you got food cooking, huh? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. I was there. I saw like a week or two ago. I got a bunch of old DVDs up there. It's probably just mixed up in there. I got a bunch of those things. Like not even opened yet. Like still in the seal. They come, a little plastic thing with a piece of tape on it. Who do I think invented faces in throw ups? That was probably around before I even started. Um, who do I think did that the most? Well, I know a dude that used to do a face as a throw up in the mid to late 80s. He would draw that Smurf. Just that's what his tag was. It was like the character, the Smurf. And he would do them like fillings, like fill them in silver and outline them with black, or fill them in like, yeah, it was weird. Fill them in white, outline them with dark blue, I saw. And it was like a Smurf, like an actual Smurf with a little hat. And, but who do I think that I could think of? Um, I don't know. I definitely wasn't the first person. I do do them in my thing. Um, I'd probably have to say Quick. Quick RTW definitely did that the most. Um, OE3, he had a couple of good ones. I wouldn't say he did that all the time because he didn't. Um, he did it not even half the time. Probably 20 something percent of the time he would do that. Manhattan face and throw ups reminds me of Quick. Yeah, Quick. Yeah. Quick, I would say, would be the one that did the most of that shit. You know, like I think a crew like MPC, no, I can't think of anyone. Scene, Duster, and them, no, I can't think of anyone. TC5, no, they weren't really a throw up crew. You know, that's how I do it. Comet and Blade, no. Um, yeah, I don't. A couple of people on Lower East Side, I just can't think of it. But yeah, I would probably say I would say Quick, Quick. Like he did it like every time almost. Like every fucking Quick filling was a fucking face. So I would give it to him. Uh, all right. Where we have faces are usually pretty weak. I like the PMX two letters. I don't know what PMX two letters is. I 9797. Who used to throw first, Med or the Trap? Well, Med is a star, and Trap is T. So the Trap is not a star. If you look at it, it clearly does. It looks more like a Star Trek button. That's what I would always say. You ever see Star Trek? Beam me up, Scotty. That's what Trap's thing looks like. But Med did an actual star. It was the actual shape of a star. So I never considered one a star and one not. Like the T is a T to me, clearly. If anything, it looks more like a thumbtack or something, or like some kind of tack nail or something like that. I never considered traps as it's not a star. All right. All right. But I think I definitely saw the Meds. If that's what you're asking, who was up before who with that particular thing? Like, regardless if I consider Traps T a star and Meds a star or not, I believe Med was doing that before Trap, if that's what you're asking me. But Traps is a T and Med actually does a star. It's a difference. All right, fruit wise, I love that Mentos throw up with those circles. I hated that shit. I used to think that shit was stupid. Dessa does the faces too a lot. That's right. I forgot, but Dessa's new Jack. He's a new Jack. I thought we're talking about back in the days. Yeah, a lot of people started doing faces. I thought we meant like, back in the 80s or something on the subway. But Des is new. Like, he hasn't been out that long. Um, like, what's Des been writing? 10 years or something? 20 years? Yeah, no, I'm going back further than that. Actually, Des has probably been around since early 90s or something. But yeah, he does the face. I don't like them. I think they're stupid looking, but that's my opinion. Yeah, a lot of people do faces now. Dose. You ever see a Dose? Yeah. DOSE with the face with the baseball cap. A lot of people. Demon, like I just said, the dude I just met, he does faces. I thought we were asking who was the first person that I could think of that did faces. So Dessa is not the first person, nor is any of these other people. But Dessa did do faces, yeah. Scheme TMT, I don't remember him doing faces. I mean, he would do faces and pieces. He would do like b-boy characters and stuff, but I never even seen a Scheme throw up. I've seen Scheme straight letters. I've seen a lot of Scheme straight letters. He was doing stuff on the same exact lines that I was taking to school and shit like that all the time. So I never saw a Scheme throw up. I've seen a lot of Scheme straight letters. Yeah. Scheme agent, yeah. Crime in the city, all that stuff. Just TVD had the best faces. I can't even think of that. I actually know that dude and followed his career. I can't think of a face Jess used to do. I remember they used to do the TVT, the Voodoo Team, and he would do like a character. It's like a voodoo doll. Is that what you're talking about? But that's not a face in a letter, is it? I don't know. I don't know. Just I've never seen it on my own. If he mustn't have been doing it because I've seen a lot of his stuff and I know him and he's been up on the highways and shit like that. And uh, he didn't start when the train era was going, so he did not start that. And nor are you saying you're clearly saying you like his faces, but I can't think of them. I can't think of them. He did more like straight, like scroll type letters, heavy and big on the top, small little pieces at the bottom. But I don't remember any characters he did other than the voodoo child, like the actual voodoo, like doll child baby looking thing. But that's not like a letter and a throw up or nothing, is it? I don't know if that helps. Dan S. I feel you. Manos is super easy to come up with. It's just dumb. Like the E. I guess everything is nice. It's just the E. Like the way he does the E is so too many moves, too many steps. And he did it too small. That's what it was. That shit was so small, all in little circles and shit. Just it was stupid. It looked New Jackish all the time. And even if he was like getting it in and going and going and going, he just kept the wrong blueprint or the wrong like formality of it in his mind and just kept duplicating the same crap instead of like stepping back and saying, I should do that shit a little bigger and fix that E, you know? All right, Kim. I'm looking it up in Phase Two's book, Style Right, and a Max Team car with faces for letters and a circle of windows and a car. I don't know. I never saw the book, and I never saw what you're talking about either. Are you talking about the cavity creeps? No, that was Scene UA that did the cavity creeps with the Mitch piece. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, what did he do? A couple of bubbles, or he drew a character on somebody? He never did fill-ins, to the best of my knowledge. I personally, me, Robert Bryan Dyer, have never, ever, ever seen a Scheme fill-in, like a bubble letter fill-in. I've seen straight letters that he has done. Yes, I've seen Des fill-ins. I've seen Des fill-ins on the six with lowercase d, lowercase e, and z. Those were cool, but I never, ever, ever seen a Scheme fill-in. Never. Maybe he done one under a different tag. Scheme had a couple of different things going on. Kulo, I hate that shit. The backwards thing with the C with the sunglasses, but it does have a face. But he's not the first one. But I don't like that shit. Uh, you know why I don't like it? It's kind of like a King Bee bite. Like when he does the eyes with the lines in them, it's like at first I thought it was King B doing this shit because I didn't know it was Kulo backwards. Like I thought it was King B coming up with some new shit. Where was I when 9/11 happened? I was down in Jamaica, the West Indies. I didn't even know about 9/11 until like 9/18, 9/17 or something. Did a whole episode on it, probably around 9/11. You might want to go back around that time period. You could hear the story. It's what you want to see. It does. Yeah, Des, he's done a couple bub letter fill-ins. They were nice. I mean, idea is the best consistent throw. I don't know. I don't like my throws. I think they suck. Like personally, that's why I never stuck with them. I never felt like I had the knack. Like I could never do it exact the same way over and over. You know, I wasn't that precise with them. I'd rather just like instead of running, it's just no interest in it. And believe me, I hung out with dudes that were known for that shit, man. And I just couldn't. I don't know. I lost interest in it. Like I'd rather just do a whole car. I mean, that's more impressive than. It's almost like the reasons I never did pieces on subways. After looking at T Kid shit and be like, wow, I can never beat that. Why bother getting involved with it? Why compete if you can't beat? You know. And there's just such a big throw up and game on the fucking subways. It's like, why bother? It's like you just can be like another mosquito bite, like just another silver and black fucking splotch on the fucking subway. I looked at it like, fuck that. I want my shit to stand out. I'm gonna do a whole car, and that's what I did. I would rather do a whole car. People, I've done a lot of them. And every time I say this, people know I've seen RD throw ups. I've seen RD throw ups. No, 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 you did them. I see you and Ripe had RD throw ups, and I'm like, I'm not saying I never fucking did them. I've hung out, like I just said, with a bunch of people that were known for just doing throw ups. I would hang out with them, so of course I would do throw ups with them, you know. But other than that, it was not my main cup of tea. I didn't like them. I would actually be wishing about to go home, like just go back to sleep, smoke some weed, and go to sleep or something, rather than run around doing throw ups. That was my bottom feeling. That's how I considered it. No, top to bottoms, whole car, shit like that was fun to me. Insides, loved it, but just to walk around doing throw ups, it was just, I don't know, it's so much extended energy for nothing. On the subways, I'm talking about. And even in the streets, I didn't do much. All right, how's my art project going? My son with the murals. The first episode that I dropped, starting back, I got into all that. I sat there for about 10 minutes explaining. It didn't go good at all. No one donated any money for the coffee thing to get supplies, and no one wanted to give us any walls at all. Like I was just talking about in New York City, this is like Sodom and Gomorrah. These people aren't trying to hear anything about God or heterosexual men or just men in general, not to start saying a white man. Like, let's be real. Just, yeah, no, this place is like anti-family, anti-religion. Like, yeah, the last fucking thing they want is a picture of Jesus on their building. And I've gotten into all that in my past video when I first came on. So, no, it didn't work out well. Maybe if you donate, give us a couple of $100, we could buy some paint and we'll do it illegally somewhere. You know, the link will be in the description below. Buy me a couple of 100 cups of coffee. I'll make it happen. But yeah. Through your ID, your mentality is the best. Your mentality is the best. Everyone nowadays just bites. Anyways, I miss the consistency, bombing, shit throw ups. Graffiti look the best. Yeah, I'm with you, man. NZ Basshead. Yeah, so sad. ARD. I guess that's the times we're living in. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I just I don't know. Now they're talking about getting rid of the statue of Columbus Circle. Like I fucking hung out there, man. You know how many motorcycles I stole that were under that statue of Columbus Circle? Like you had the statue of Columbus. It's still there right now. And then after him, it was like an island. What I mean by an island is just like a sidewalk that's shaped like a pill, or like a cigar or something. And along it, it had this thing like this with a gate, and there would be like fucking 30, 40 fucking motorcycles just parked there. And we'd go by and see if there's anything we could steal to sell. We would steal a lot of the Ninja 1000s, the FJ 1200s, the GSXR 1100s, fucking the Honda, the Nighthawk, all that shit we were grabbing. Fucking CBRs, KZs. I remember the KZ 1000s or something like that by Yamaha. Man, we were stealing so many motorcycles right there. KLR 650s, Kawasaki. Right there, man. Good times. They're going to rip that statue down. But you know what the craziest thing is? The mayor's talking about the city is broke. No fucking money. This migrant thing is going to destroy this country, this city. The city is not going to recover from this. That. We can't the money, but yet they got money to like hire like a construction crew to rip down a statue or something like that. Like I don't know, like somewhere along the line, it looks like there's money. Like you look at this COVID shit, we were broke before that. Once COVID came out, they started mailing us money and all types of shit, making money, giving money, flipping money, 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 money. Now the fucking shit's drying out. People are like, yo, what the fuck? Where's my money? So yeah, it's different, man. Thanks, Bobby. My kid just cooked a little something. It's kind of late too, right? Yeah. Hot. All right, what we got here? Yeah, but I've explained the whole thing with the migrant. I don't blame the migrants. I don't even mind them. I think they're cool. It's kind of like what America, the Statue of Liberty out and give us your weak, you're poor, you're humble, you're sick, and all that, you're masses. But yeah, eventually it's going to financially, like I was explaining at the beginning of this video. But I believe they're just a political pawn. Like, that's what's sad. A lot of you people get mad at me on here, thinking I'm kind of talking easy about the project, about these migrants or something like that, almost like I'm some kind of liberal or something. But the truth of the matter is, like I said at the beginning of the video, a few people are just logging in. Truth of the matter is, if I was in fucking Mexico and I thought I could find a better life here and I was willing to go for it, I'd go for it. Well, who am I to judge? I can't judge people on shit like that. It was not perfect. I've done a lot of shit in my life. I have no right to judge anyone. Is TK guy been killing shit forever too? Very is fire. I never heard of Very. Is fire PG, the PG that passed away, I guess, right? And TK guy had been killing shit forever. I don't know. TK, he's been around. He's been around before me, but he disappeared like what? Once the trains died, and then the streets. He hasn't done. I was just staying buff the streets for a while. I don't think he wrote since the 90s, since like 90, 92 or something like that. My personal opinion. Hasn't done anything since, unless he's doing like the backyard and some barbecue or some shit like that somewhere. I haven't seen nothing from him in like 30, 40 years or something. You got a lot of shows, write some black books and stuff. Yeah, so it's bullshit. You could tell him I said that too. And I remember No, never met Gaines Nation. Did you ever run into Revs, KRT? You guys remind me of each other. No, to the best of my knowledge, no. But people have told me, yeah, Robert, he was in Tishman. You were there. He was there. I don't know. He didn't introduce himself to me, or if not, like, I don't know him from the subways. I never heard of him on the subways. I am not lying to you. I swear. You people think of him as like some big god or something. I honestly did not hear of that man until he teamed up with Cost. I mean, of course, I'm aware of like the Revlon top to bottom, but I didn't even know that was Revs. Like, it was the same guy. You know, like when like I said, I'm really in my own little world here. I was hanging out with criminals that wrote graffiti. I wasn't really hanging out with all these other graffiti writers, exchanging stories and stuff like that. We hung out with ourselves here in John Jay Park. We were excluded from all that shit. If we bumped into other graffiti writers, we normally beat them up and stole all their shit. We kept all their spray paint, their ink, and we used it for our own purposes. Unless the people were nice or they were funny or friendly or something like that. We saw something in them before we started to attack them. Maybe we see a little glimmer in their eye or something where maybe we can hang out with this person and we won't hurt him and we become friends with them or something like that. But yeah, most of the time we beat the shit out of people and stole all their shit. I do not remember Revs. I don't remember him up on somebody at all. I made that statement. I never seen Revs up on a subway. Well, what are you talking about? No people I actually know. They go, what do you mean, Rob? He was right next to you and this, that. I don't remember that shit, man. Maybe he wasn't writing Revs. I don't know. Or maybe he didn't want to tell me what he wrote. A lot of people don't do that either. Maybe they crossed me out or something. So when they meet me, they tell me they write something else or something like that. I don't know. I never knew him like that. Never saw him up in the 80s. Best of my knowledge. I didn't know him until I started seeing him up with Cost. And that's the only reason it was drawn to my attention, because I know Cost. So I'm like, oh, wow. Maybe if he kept writing Revlon, that would have made his career a little more interesting. But who am I to judge? Native New Yorkers live in shelters and you house these migrants in the Roosevelt Hotel. Yep. If you look at that footage with AOC, they're drowning out. Like, yo, send them back. Send them back. All these people yelling at Bullhorn. You can't even hear her. She's like, man, all you hear is everyone yelling. You look at the truck that goes by. And she got a RD tag on it. That was funny. Actually, it was filmed just the other day, too. But you see that white dude? He's popping all that shit. He's pushing them. Oh, they put like a barricade in front of him. He's like, yeah. He's like, you barricade me. You build a wall in front of me. I'm an American. That shit had me dying, yo. He had me dying, yo. You guys got to see that footage, man. AOC gets drowned out. It's on all the news stations and everything. But yeah, everyone's speaking over. You can't even hear what she's saying. There's one dude, he had enough. He's like, send these migrants back. He's like, we're forced to get shots. We got to get these vaccines. And they don't have to get their vaccines. We don't get them, we lose our job. And they don't got to get them. This, that, right? So like the cops are coming up to him and they're like, yo, he's like, fuck you. He's like, I thought this was America. And they're taking a barricade and they're pushing it. He's like, oh, yeah, build a wall in front of me. Yeah, that dude was fucking hilarious, man. I bet you people are going to put him on that YouTube, man. He was funny dude, man. Yeah, build a wall around me. I'm an American. Yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious, man. Yeah, I watched that shit like 10 times. I showed that shit to my son. Because it's a South Park. You know, Stan. He's like, whatever. I thought it was America. You know, Stan from South Park. Yeah, man. It was like the same thing that dude was doing. That shit was hilarious. He looks familiar, too. Yeah, he looks like he's in my age group, too, but he looks familiar. Yeah, you build a wall in front of me. You cage me. You know, that shit was funny. I'm a fucking American. Oh, man. That shit was the best. Yeah, peace out, man. NZ Bayshead. Yeah, man. Peace out. Catch you later, brother. Stay safe. Yeah, I'm getting ready to call it a night my damn self here. Like I said, I was watching. I'm going to go back to watching that Blue Beetle. And I was watching it. I just forgot what time it is. I didn't go on here till like 9:47 or something. I'm going to click on about 9:30. I'm like, wow. Yeah. South Park, man. They predict that. Was that report stolen? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was America. Yeah. I thought it was America. From America, right? Yeah, it's just hilarious. It's like he's standing there, right? He's got like a sweatsuit on and shit. He's popping all this shit. Really, the cops, they took these metal barriers. Like they put one here and put two on. Like all of a sudden, he's like, "Yo, I'm in a cage." Like they put the barricade in his ass. He's like, "You do this shit to me, but you let the migrants in." You build a wall around me. That shit was hilarious. That's your homework, people, man. Find that shit. It's called AOC Gets Drowned Out. She's actually in front of the Roosevelt Hotel. And of course, you'll see the RD tag if you look hard enough. It's on a white truck that goes by. Yeah, it's always fine. I'm American. Like, we got to take vaccines or we lose our job. They don't have to take vaccines. That shit had me dying, man. Yeah, I was telling my son. I was like, as soon as them motherfuckers get back, they're going to do that facial recognition on that ass. They're going to find out, okay, he's John Doe, and she's owe any parking tickets. He pay his child support and his alimony. Like, they're going to go do that dude's fucking shit like a fucking fine-tooth comb, man. And he was pretty much threatening AOC. She can't walk around here. I kill that bitch. He started going off, man. That shit was wild, man. Like, she lies and she can't walk around and all types of crazy shit, man. I bet you, man, they're going to look into that dude's history. They probably already got that motherfucking Bellevue tied to a bed and shit all strung on Thorazine. He was setting it up. Believe me. Someone like that does that. I'm going to look through everything you did, man. See if you own any parking tickets or you pay all your taxes. They're going to look for something to get you. They're going to go back and use it. You got a warrant. Rip your house apart. God forbid they find a gun or something, you're done. Terroristic threats. First, you really take time off from work and cook up that. Yeah, my beef was just scuffed when I went to work. It really wasn't scuffed, but I mean, hey, it was him and Bet. And Bet is what came at me real hard then. And Scuff has been my most worthy opponent. And the Bet came out of nowhere. I'm like, oh shit, I used to see that dude up on the letter line. So I was like, this guy he needs a little more of my attention, And Scuff has been already fucking with me 10-something years before that, 20 years before that even. So it was nothing new to go to war with Scuff. But yeah, with Bet. But Scuff would always do it in waves. Very similar to like D3 or Cost does that too. Like Cost will come out, destroy shit, and then disappear for 4 or 5 years, 7 years, come back out, do it again. That's kind of like what Scuff does. So he would get me in this, that. I'd take his shit out. He'd take my shit out, and then he'll disappear for a while. And I'll just keep writing. And he'll come back in a couple of years later with a new partner, start crashing my shit again, and I'll start crashing his shit again. Then he'll disappear. I'll just keep writing. Yeah, it's been going on like that, straight on up. I don't know. I stopped seeing him probably around 2006, 2007. He kind of fell off. I maybe off by a year or two, but hasn't done nothing since really. Well, I like Scuff. I like his filling style. Now that's someone that does perfect throw ups with a face in them. Yeah, he does the face in the F. That's cool. I like Scuff stuff. All right, guys, I'm gonna go, man. Anthony Valdez is Noxer. I don't like Noxer shit, man. I don't like it. I think it's crappy. I don't know. My personal opinion. I hate them throw ups and shit. Flying. Might as well just write the tag, man. It's all skinny in some areas and thick in other. I don't. I guess that's just the way of the world now. But I don't like it. Don't dig it. Peace out, people. Have a good one, man.